Hey there, it's good to see you. I hope that you are enjoying your day. Thank you for taking time out to watch my video today. I've really been in the process the last several months of evaluating what's working for me and what's not. And one of the areas that I've really wanted to work on is makeup and traveling. I'm frequently going out of town, pretty much guaranteed once a month. And so I thought it was high time that I established a traveling makeup bag, if you will, like a makeup kit for on the go, because I really want to use more and more of my collection, bring out those backup brushes and use them instead of letting things just sit. So I thought now would be a perfect time for me to pull everything out, pack some stock items so I'm not constantly having to empty out my entire everyday makeup drawer or worry about leaving things at home or where I'm going or whatnot. And so I thought this is going to be the way to streamline things. If you're wanting to do something similar, maybe you're going to be inspired by this video to continue shopping your stash as well. I found large makeup bags at Target. The brand is called Contents. It looks like this. There are 3 pockets. There is a mesh pocket that I'm using for makeup. Then there's brush holders. And then there's a plastic thing. We'll go through it in just a moment on the stock items that I'm going to just leave in there and use when I'm on the go. And then I'm giving myself the flexibility to rotate in the palette that I'm panning or products that I'm panning. And so that way I have the variety that I'm craving. I'm cleaning out more makeup out of my backup stash and enjoying it. But also, let's get real, I hate packing, so it'd be nice to have a few extra moments to myself instead of having to think about, did I remember those eyelash curlers? Did I remember mascara? Did I remember a lipstick? So without further ado, like I said, thank you so much for taking time to watch this. Let's get into what I'm taking in my traveling makeup bag. Oh, and before we get started, I believe this retails for $20 or $24 at Target. They did have several prints. I chose this one because it matches with the Jon Hart Weekender bag that I use most often when I go out of town. So, hope you enjoy. Okay, let's get started to kind of what is over on this side in the mesh pocket. I like this because it is large enough that I'm going to be able to fit any of the palettes I'm panning. Like right now is my Z palette. It fits in here very nicely. I can also fit a beauty blender in and any additional items that I might be panning. A bronzer. I did not include a bronzer in this particular one because generally I'm panning a bronzer. And then eyeliner because I love my gel liners and things like that. So we're just gonna kind of go through the bare bones makeup that I figured would be easy staple items that'll match with any look that I'm currently dealing with, or not dealing with, panning, without having to shake up my routine too terribly much. So the first thing that I'm gonna pull out is a repurchased item. I just finished my Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Lolita. This is a repurchased item because when I travel, I don't want to have to worry about lipstick melting in my makeup bag. That is a huge annoyance, especially since it is so hot here in Texas. And so it was worth it to me to repurchase this particular shade because I loved it as I panned it. I know that it works well with most of the eye looks I create. And since right now I'm going through the Stila and the No palette, random shadows, and next year with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this particular lipstick. And then if I'm panning an additional lip color, I can just throw that in my purse so that I don't have to worry about it sitting in the car for too long and melting. So this was an awesome choice for me to actually, you know, go on and make that choice to repurchase, if you will. The next thing I'm gonna pull out is the Smashbox color correcting stick. It is in a bright orange color. I use this for tattoo concealing. So you can see, because it cancels out black really well, and redness. I don't use this on my face. It would be way too stark, but for tattoo cover up, it is phenomenal. Then, since I've been wearing a lot of more mauve-y looks lately, I wanted to go on and include a brightening concealer. So I have this Urban Decay Naked Skin color correcting fluid in pink that I bought months back. I figured this would be a way to use it because, I'll be honest, it's a little too thick for me on an everyday basis, but I figured traveling I can make it work and then just kind of really tone it down with a dampened Beauty Blender sponge as I do my makeup. Then months and months back when I was wanting to try something new as far as shadow bases, I went to Target and bought the Maybelline Master Prime long-lasting eyeshadow base in the shimmery formula. It kind of reminds me of the color Tattoo and Creamy Beige, maybe a little bit pinker to that champagne formula. It's nothing to write home about. It does the job, but it's not great. So I figured I would go on and include it in the traveling makeup bag because it would give me a way to use it, and you know, I know it's gonna work under any eyeshadow look, so it does the job. Then I had a backup sample of the Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. I figured I would throw that in there to give me a matte eyeshadow primer base because I do need that with my hooded eyes to make sure that my shadow lasts all day. Then as far as powder, I do have several powders going at the moment because I want to expand my repertoire, try some different brands. But the one I ultimately chose for the traveling makeup bag is the Laura Mercier Universal Setting Powder. The reason I chose this is because the sifter closes completely. It is a no muss, no fuss. I don't have to worry about things spilling in my makeup bag. This is an awesome choice if you like loose powder, but you don't want to have to worry about it. It doesn't leave my face cakey, so I know it's going to work with any foundation I'm panning and I pack on the go, but also too, it's not going to be a mess. So I'm really looking forward to using that. And then as far as blush, I decided to pull out this NARS Realm of the Senses Cheek Palette. I've had this for years. I haven't had a lot of use for it, but the reason I thought it would be great to put in the traveling makeup bag is because there's a color like Orgasm up here in the corner, so that's great for spring and summer looks. There's a berry shade down here that's similar to Sin, and then there's a highlighting shade. You know, I'm still probably going to go in for eyeshadow because it's going to be whatever I'm currently panning with my palette looks. But if I swirl them all together, I get a blush color that's very similar to Super Orgasm, or like I said, I can divvy them out and then get basically 3 different products in one without having to travel with all the excess. So I'm actually looking forward to having that on the go with me. Mascara, I'm keeping it easy. The L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black, I don't have to think about it. When it dries out, I can just chuck it and get a new one. So I figured that would be a wise choice for me to have on the go. And then something, all right, then next we've got my travel bottle of MAC Fix Plus. I never go home without it. And in fact, what I do is I've been refilling my travel container with a larger size bottle so that I always have it on the go with me. It is my very favorite setting spray of all time out of anything that I've ever tried. Then the next thing, I always forget these, and so I figured out of anything in this makeup bag, this is going to be the one thing that I'm really excited about. It is a pair of eyelash curlers. This particular one is from Revlon. It is my favorite brand for drugstore eyelash curlers because they are small enough that they don't pinch my hooded lids. But like I said, it's the one thing that I generally tend to forget as I'm packing. So this is going to be an awesome staple to have in my makeup bag, and you can just wipe it off with some eye makeup remover so that it stays clean, and then you can sanitize it with some isopropyl alcohol so it's ready to go every single time you use it. And then the next thing I have is the primer I want to take with me. When I bought the L'Oreal mascara, it was a buy one, get one half off. So I chose the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. I love this. It works really well with matte foundations that I've panned before. So I decided that this would be a primer that would work well regardless of the foundation that I take on the go with me, and then give me something that I enjoy using because it is a product that I love. And then foundation wise, right now I've got the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation in my summer shade Nude. I think I'm gonna continue keeping a drugstore foundation in the shade that I'm particularly needing at the moment, or if I happen to be panning a foundation, I'll just rotate it out with that particular foundation. So this is what's working for me right now. It works really well with that L'Oreal Light Infusing Primer, and I know that it's going to give me the coverage I want without having to add additional concealer. And then as far as a nude pencil, I'm still working on my Rimmel for Project Pan, but I got this Maybelline Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil in Soft Nude to keep in the bag so that I have something ready to go for my waterline. And then as far as contouring, I really fell in love with the shade Rain from the Stila and the No palette. So when I was at Ulta, they had the NYX blush in the shade Taupe. So I went on and picked one up so that I have a contouring shade ready to go in my traveling makeup bag and not have to wonder if my palette has a shade that is appropriate for me to contour with. So NYX Taupe. Then these last two things I use for tattoo concealing. The first one is the NYX Dark Circle Concealer in Light Pale. The reason I chose it is because it has a salmon texture to it. It goes along with that Smashbox pencil in the bright orange to really work wonders in tattoo cover up. And then for the heavy duty concealing, I use the Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer in Light. That works wonders. Or also the Maybelline Master Prime Concealer in Light. I really enjoy that one as well. Then kind of going into the brushes, these are literally backups of brushes that I use every day anyway. And so I went through and took out the ones that I know are straight duplicates and put them in here. So we've got an eyebrow brush because I use eyeshadow to fill in my brows. I have a e.l.f. liner brush that I use to line my lower lash line. I have a concealer brush, a domed crease brush from MUA. I picked this up at CVS. I really enjoy this particular brush to apply shadow into my crease since I have very small eyes. An e.l.f. C brush, I use this to put shadow onto my eyelid. A Real Techniques eyeliner brush. This is my preferred eyeliner brush to use with any gel formulas. Then I've got two Real Techniques brushes. These are slightly different than the brushes I normally use because I have Bare Minerals brushes that I use for that. But I figured I'm going to use this brush for my transition shade and the same brush to do my highlighting. That's right. So transition shade and highlighting, so that way I can get that brow bone and inner corner all together. And then I have a big fluffy concealer brush that I use to blend out my eyeshadow so that I don't have any harsh lines. This brush from e.l.f., it is a domed kabuki brush I use to apply a bronzer. Then an angled brush that I can use for blush. The Real Techniques contouring brush is my favorite to highlight all over my face. Then this e.l.f. contouring brush to apply my contouring shade. The normal one that I typically use every day is the Sonia Kashuk version, but I figure this will work just as well and not cost a bunch of money. And then my favorite powder brush at the moment is the e.l.f. powder. It's just the normal studio brush in the powder version. So those are all my brushes, literally like the exact same brushes I use on a daily basis for the most part, with the exception of the two purple eye brushes from Real Techniques. So that way it goes in this compartment. Then you flip over to this side. When the traveling makeup box went around that Ashley started, I picked up a Mary Kay traveling makeup mirror. This stands up so that I have a standing mirror on the counter that I can use on the go. So I'm using this pocket back here to store that for easy on the go. And then as far as the toiletries back here, I'm keeping it very simple. As you can see, I've got some brush cleaner. This is the IT Cosmetics brush cleaner that I can just very quickly spot clean my brushes if I need to. I've got some toothpaste. This is the Sensodyne Pro Enamel. This is my very favorite toothpaste of life because I love drinking coffee, but it rips the enamel off my teeth. And then a toothbrush holder that, you know, I can put my toothbrush in when it's time to go. A traveling razor. This is the Venus little travel razor. I haven't even seen these at grocery stores or even Target lately, so I don't know if they sell them anymore, but it's just got the cute little baby handle, and then you use the normal size razors to refill it. Then Purity Made Simple. I had a sample bottle of this. I'm just using it up whenever I travel. And then I put this in here to show you, it's not what I'm using anymore because I'm not really doing the traditional method of washing my hair, but I wanted to keep a sample size bottle to show you, you know, putting in my body wash into the bag, and then going through with deodorant and, you know, my little moisturizer. I've got a small bottle of argan oil I can put in to moisturize my face when I'm done and whatnot. But that's about it. Thank you so much for taking the time out. I hope you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful. This setup is great for me when I plan to be gone for around a weekend. So, you know, a couple of days. And then, you know, obviously I'd pack a little bit more if I'm planning to be gone for a week, or if it's going to be an extended vacation or whatnot. So this is my go-to stuff. Like I said, as far as over here, you know, I'd wash my hair before I'd leave out of town, so I wouldn't need, you know, all of that hair stuff. I wouldn't need to bring a hair dryer and, you know, all that the stuff that goes along with doing our hair. So I like to keep things very streamlined, very simple. Again, this brand of makeup bag is from Contents. You can find it at Target. I think it runs for $20 to $24. I don't remember exactly, but I saw that they had 3 or 4 different prints. They are fabulous. I'm very much looking forward to taking this on the go with me. And then it's easy to clean because I figured I can go through and spot clean if the outside gets dirty and wipe down the inside from loose makeup and whatnot. So thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this. I look forward to catching up with you very, very soon. See you later.